Today, This American Dice presents Dungeon World, After the Last Battle, Episode 4. Having made it through the dark forest with the help of some dark and puzzling magic, our heroes find themselves before two ancient doorways. Which one will lead to their final confrontation with the rebels, and which will lead to certain doom? Find out what happens today on This American Dice.
I will shake another turd into the pile of shit.
When you're feeling down below the ground, go to Dungeon Town, adventure all around. There's minotaurs and direwolves and dragons everywhere. There's mages and paladins and fighters up in here.
Oh my.
Go to Dungeon Town, adventure all around. You'll hear the sound, and then you will be bound.
Oh my.
So come on down to Dungeon Town. Dungeon World, After the Last Battle is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Episode 4. Ghostly Guardians of the Goblin Grotto, or Terror in Turd Town.
When last we joined you guys, you saw the witch Agatha Christie, and she led you through the forest, essentially the fog of the forest. After
but
you
not
answered
unscathed.
and after you answered her 3 riddles. So, and you see that her massive cauldron and all the bones that surrounded it are gone, and instead you're just in a clearing between an incredibly steep mountain and the forest. So one of the things that I'm going to say is, rather than have you guys make any kind of roll to figure this out, you know that this place is a safe place based on that deal that you just made with Agatha Christie. This is a safe place for you to make camp and rest.
We should make camp and rest.
Capital idea.
Indeed. All right. So make camp allows you to heal a certain amount. Where is it over here? Here we go. Make camp. Yeah, when you settle in to rest, go ahead and... So all of you guys consume one of your rations. Mark off one of your rations.
Did we lose those rations, or after we killed the people we got them back, I guess?
Yeah, after you guys killed those ogres, you got them back.
Oh, good.
So everybody's got to go through one ration.
Well, seeing as I was the quartermaster, I just put all the rations together. We had 20 total, so I'll just make it so we have 16 total.
Sure. All right. So,
I only made half with 3/4 of a ration because I'm on the keto diet.
Yeah.
So I don't eat the lembas bread. Yeah, but I eat everything else.
It's just beef jerky and Gatorade. All right. So I think
you need the Gatorade on account of what your liver does.
Yeah.
It fails.
Well,
Botch.
All right, so you guys are pretty sure that based on that deal that you made with Agatha Christie, that stuff is safe, that this is a safe place. But I think you still maybe have people kind of sleep in shifts to a certain degree, just because you're well, we feel like we're safe. But it was also based on a deal we made with a witch who asked us really shitty riddles. So maybe we keep it. Maybe have a few people stay awake, and so maybe you guys should sleep in shifts. And so I've got a few questions for you. All right. One of my first ones is for Jeff, for Alex.
Alex. Let's see if this paging system works.
Hey, guys.
Hey. So.
Sorry, my hands were just covered in jizz. I just had to wash them off.
Nice. So, what made Jeff go on this quest? What's his motivation for going on this quest?
Going on this quest was an opportunity to, enough money. Jeff put all the money he earned, his salary when he was in the military. He made a couple bad investments, and now he's back. He bought some land he thought had gold in it, and there's no gold. So he's traveled over here to try to put his skills to use to pay for his daughter's way through college, which is very expensive. So the flail is there to always remind him of how important his daughter's, how expensive his daughter's tuition is going to be and how much he cares about her. And
I like that it's in that order too.
Yeah.
It's to remind me how expensive this is going to be. And also, I guess that I care about her.
Yeah. Well, the flail is a very heavy burden to carry around with you from place to place. And so the weight of the weapon reminds Jeff just how
crushing debt.
Yeah, exactly.
It reminds you of the crushing debt each time you use it to crush a skull.
Yes.
Okay. So Jeff is doing this for the money. He's in a financial situation where he's got to get some cash. So let's say that Jeff is one of the people on watch during the first shift of sleeping. Who else is on watch with Jeff?
I'll be on watch.
All right.
That would be Roscoe Tinkle Chimes.
Roscoe, what annoys you about Jeff?
Oh,
what is Jeff doing? And it doesn't have to be something that is always going on, but Jeff is doing something while you guys are just kind of sitting
that's easy.
There.
When he thinks that no one can hear him or is paying attention, which is not nearly as often as he thinks it is, he talks to his flail as if it is his daughter.
Nice. Okay.
And he uses a lot of baby talk.
Oh. So he's doing baby talk to this massive chained weapon.
Yeah, he's like stroking it and like surreptitiously like putting water and food in front of it. Like he doesn't think anything's going to happen, but something about the ritual seems to soothe him.
Okay, so he puts it down, and kind of makes it comfortable when he's doing something else. Okay, interesting. And so Roscoe's just watching Jeff treat this weapon like a person. Mm-hmm. All right. And we see Roscoe kind of ready himself in regard to the spells that he's going to have for the next day. You want to give us a heads up on those spells?
Yeah, I gained access to invisibility, and the ones I've memorized currently, in addition to the cantrips, are Magic Missile, Charm Person, and Invisibility.
Okay. Cool. All right. So eventually your shift kind of ends, and Dirk and Gritta kind of wake up, and they're kind of on watch. And you guys get like the equivalent of a full night's sleep. So this could be like 5-6 hours worth of sleep. And when Gritta and Dirk are there, the big question I have for Dirk is, what's your greatest fear in undertaking this quest? What's Dirk's greatest fear in undertaking this?
Confronting an old love.
Okay, confronting an old love. All right, like an old, like a lover, a former lover.
Yeah,
like an old. Okay, all right. Anything you want to tell us about this lover, or are we going to meet this person when we encounter them?
So,
or if we encounter them,
what I'm thinking is that Dirk was a round earther. Crazy, I know.
Dark secret.
But he's from like a flat, the pretty normal, everyday, red-blooded, flat Earth family, and his round Earth brethren,
making America flat again. Yeah,
including the love of his life, asked him to turn on his family and his country land in favor of their impassioned religious beliefs. And as a man of principle, Dirk couldn't do that.
Okay.
So now he's going to have to confront his old Scientology friends.
All right, cool. Let's call them Clearwater buds so we don't get sued. Okay. All right, so you're kind of thinking about that. We maybe see like a scene of you thinking about.
No, you just see him drinking heavily.
Okay, so he's like, "Oh, good morning," and then he downs a thing of gnome wine.
Yeah, he's like, let's start this watch off right. Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And I'll say he's not mysterious at all. He'll just get drunk and tell everyone his whole deal.
Okay, yeah, oh, that's great. Yeah, so Grit is there, and then Dirk is just.
It's like, you want to know what your problem is? That's how he introduces himself most of the time.
All right.
And he's going to be like, your problem is you just take for granted that the world is flat. All right, you just take that for granted. But some of us, we have to pay for it, you know?
All right. Gritta, aside from this tirade that you are being subjected to, why does Gritta consider turning back?
Because the world's round, and if you keep walking long enough, you're going to get to the other side, you know?
This is why. She's worried that her god wouldn't doesn't actually approve of this because it might lead to peace.
Oh,
Second thoughts. Which of course
so this could be this battle could be the battle that completes the war, finishes the war, and leads to no further conflict.
Yeah, that's what she's worried of.
Okay. All right. How do we as the audience see this?
Okay. Maybe she just gets drunk with Dirk, and then this is how she opens up at the end there.
Oh, okay. So maybe she tells like stories of like all these various battles and like all these proud things, and be like, and then just realizes like, oh, this might be the last one. Like after this, the war's over.
David, you know incriminating details about me, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So that's it. I'm a round earther. That's what you know.
Well, I've got Dirk is keeping an important secret from me, which maybe not so much anymore. It's just an open book.
Oh, well, that's it. I'm a round earther.
All right.
Knocking out those bonds left and right.
All right.
I'm not saying we've fulfilled them. I'm just saying that's the color and context for it.
All right. Well, the sun rises, and kind of your making camp comes to an end. You guys kind of pack up your stuff,
Sober up.
Yeah, maybe you sober up, or
not.
You don't have to
stop.
But kind of off in the distance the whole time, this clearing is maybe like 50, 60 yards wide between like the forest and this mountain, which is incredibly steep. It's like almost completely vertical. What is that called? Sheer?
Too steep.
Yeah.
It's almost too steep. And again, up at the top, you think that you can make out in the cloud cover like a round bit. And I think some of you look up again and say, that's right, the round sphere.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, but in this mountain itself stand two doors. And in front of each one of those doors is a guard wearing armor that is like of no variety that you've ever seen. If any of you know like a bit about armor, I assume Jeff does, or maybe Gritta does. It's like a very old style. Like this is like armor that no one these days would be wearing. And as you approach, these figures are pretty significantly tall. They're maybe like 7 or 8 feet tall. And they, if you look closely, you can see into the helmets, and they're skeletons.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
Can I spout some lore about these guys?
So, what are you thinking here?
I'm just going to start saying bullshit, and if I roll right, it'll be true.
All right. So, in the future, try to just tell me like what you're trying to do, and we'll figure out if it goes to one of the things. Are you trying to trying
to search his memory for like knowledge or facts about these things?
Okay. I was just trying to figure out if you were doing that or if you wanted to like observe what was going on as a discern reality.
No, I wouldn't do that.
All right.
Hold on, I forget where my roll 20 is. So I'm going to go ahead and...
Have you checked your butt?
Mm-hmm. Hold on. It's not in there. Nope, not yet. Yeah, it's in my butt.
My other crevice.
I rolled a 4.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Nice. Yeah, you can get a...
I'll be like, these are scarecrows. Mm-hmm. They're left out here for condor, which are very prevalent here, and they will attack you as soon as look at you. So don't look at the scarecrow.
All right. Carl and Greta, as the two people who are kind of like more magically inclined, both of you get like a bad feeling.
So what are we looking at exactly? 2 doors with how many of these skeleton creatures in front?
So there are 2 doors. Each door is maybe like 7 or 8 feet tall. It's pretty big, and there's stone doors. In front of these doors are these 2 skeletons who are also very tall in ancient armor. And I think they're carrying with them like one has in front of them doing that like kind of knight thing where the blade is pointed down and they have the handle up to their chest, like a huge great sword. Mm-hmm. And the other has like a halberd or something like that. I'll say the one on the left has the halberd, and the one on I just wrote left. That's all I wrote on the paper. The one on the left has the halberd, and the one on the right has the sword. All right. And, yeah, you guys get like a very, very, very
good feeling about this?
Yeah, Roscoe and Greta get a very ill feeling, and they can tell it's like something magical is going on. Like there's some trouble afoot that's brewing.
If I were to cast Detect Magic, which I have as a cantrip, could I maybe pinpoint what the problem is? Would that help?
You possibly could.
I'll try it. Let's see what has
yeah, I forget exactly what that lets you do, but I think you could almost just tell that there is magic afoot for sure.
Okay, I got 10. So it's just a general aura of magic. No like item or like particular like moonstone or anything like that.
I think you realize that I'll give you 2 answers with this. One, these 2 guards are definitely magical. Okay. Like they are actually spirits, I think, that you can tell. The bigger answer related to that ill omen that you felt is there is something there is something like far in this cavern that is great and that is stirring.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
All right. Have they seen us?
You guys, how far are you from this thing? Like you've been sitting there all night, theoretically within sight of these statues, and there had not been any kind of movement or anything like that.
Probably got pretty close to make sure that they're scarecrows.
All right, but
like kicking them, being like, yeah, these are some pretty solid scarecrows.
Okay, well that's awesome. So you kick one of them, and right with the sword says, you hear like a voice. You there.
I'll scream and run away.
You get real clever. Yeah, you hear.
What's the name of your god, David?
Ragnar.
Okay, and what's the name of Ragnar's son?
Ragnar's son.
Ragnar Jr.
Yeah, I'll be like, Ragnar's son, and then I'll run.
Okay. Yes, hello. You dare to seek entrance into the catacombs?
Yes, please, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I'm still like backing up, pissing my pants.
And it says, and again, this is the one on the right with the sword. Says, we are the guardians of these entrances. One leads into the catacombs and to the secrets there, ancient and many. The other door leads to certain doom. You may ask us one question and only one question.
Wait, I didn't hear what you said. What did you say about what the other guardian did?
Can I punch him? Make him be quiet?
So he starts to say that, and as you're trying to shut him up, the guard on the left with the halberd says, that is bullshit. I don't know what he's talking about. I can't stand this. Every time anyone has ever shown up, this guy gives them this line of shit, and
it's the lying doors thing, and you got to be like, which one's telling the truth? But I'll let the wizard handle this because he knows about mystic things.
And the one on the right with the sword says, "Indeed, you must choose wisely, lest you be destroyed by your ill choice." And the other one says, "We don't know what's on the other side of these doors. We are magical spirits on this side of these doors. We don't know what's on the other side."
I'll say to the annoyed one, I'll say, you must really get fed up with him, having to stand around here all the time with no other company. He seems like a real bore.
I have been here for 7,000 years, and Kevin will not stop with this 2 different door stuff. I hate it.
You don't have to hang out here with Kevin. You can come with us. You seem like you'd be a real fun, useful guy.
He's like, "No, I have too much of a gap in my resume. I've been guarding this door for so long. If I try to do something else, I'm going to have to go back to community college, and that's going to suck, and I don't want to do that at all."
I said, "We have an entry-level position just waiting for you."
He's like, "No, it's really better off here. I mean, I have to deal with this guy all the time, but you know how it is. You don't get to always pick your coworkers. You just got to tolerate them." "Have you made your choice?" says the one on the right.
And I say,
"For you can enter only one of these doors, and the other shall be barred from you."
I suppose, aren't you? I suppose one of you is going to say that you only lie, and the other one's going to say they only tell the truth.
"Indeed, one of us always lies, and the other one always tells the truth."
Roscoe sort of roll his eyes, be like, "All right, man, this is a first-year question at Wizarding Academy."
Hold on, I got this. No, I'll point at the one.
I got it.
Like,
A dog. I'll point at the one on the right, and I'll be like, "You're a dog."
Say,
and look at him intently.
It is a question.
Not technically a question, so I'll allow you to ask another one.
We're really thin ice here.
I got this.
No.
So,
Jeff?
Spirit,
Jeff?
if you were the other spirit, which door, which pathway would you tell us to choose?
And I think the spirit,
like a huge sigh of relief.
I think the spirit on the left says, "If I were him, I would fucking kill myself." I hate listening to this.
I say, an answer, not technically the answer we were looking for, but we do appreciate you sharing your thoughts.
So you ask the spirit on the right, if he were the other door, what would he tell them? He's like, "I would tell you that my door led to safety and the treasures within these ancient catacombs." And again, the one on the left says, "Neither of us has ever been on the other side of this door. We have no idea what's going on."
All right.
To left. Or let's kill both these guys.
Kill them both. Yeah. Man, I said it seems too easy. I'll say, but what if I'll say to the guy on the right, don't you want to know what's behind these doors? Why don't you come with us?
He has no response. And the one on the left goes, "Oh, he's really sticking to it."
Roscoe will shrug, turn to the others and say, "Well, by the book, it should be the left door we should go in." I'll start walking towards it.
No, be careful. He said the right door.
I say, "Yes, but that would be the wrong door on account of the other one would." I say, "You know what? I can't explain it."
Wait, let's see. But Aaron's trying to.
Very complicated.
That's the safest.
All right. So yeah. So, tell you what, Jeff. You try the right door. We'll try the left door.
All right. So Roscoe's going to try the left door, he said?
Yeah.
All right. So as you the guard on the right says, "You have made your choice." And the guard on the left does like stand out of your way and allow you to go to like open the door.
Well, somebody's asking. I'm going to do it.
So Roscoe presses on this door, and again, it should be like a massive stone door. He should not be able to move this, and yet it swings open very lightly, like it was any kind of door that you would encounter in any old building at all. It swings open, and inside is a dark, musty tunnel.
All right.
What's down there? Says the guard on the
I'll
left.
activate I'll say, come find out. It'll only take a minute. Don't you want to satisfy 7,000 years of curiosity?
Nah, I'm all right.
All right, I'll cast light.
All right. So you have to roll to do that, right?
It's a cantrip, so I guess so. Yeah. All right. I got a 10.
All right. Pretty good.
I'll put it on Grita's helmet. So
Okay.
Grita, lead the way.
Wait,
Grita
we're
looks
all going to go through this death trap?
I say, well, it should be the right door. The correct door, rather.
Wait, why? Not all of us are wizards, okay?
I say it's a very complicated math equation, but after years of study, I've learned that if he tells you the one door, the correct answer should be the other door. It would take me hours to explain it.
But didn't they
Daisy.
both tell us that?
Well, let me get this straight. So we asked the guy on the right, what would the guy on the left tell us is the way to safety? And he replied, he would say the right door, correct?
That it's the safe door, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we should be going on the left, which is where we are, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. He told us to go in the right door, but look, I know one thing: you don't split up. Split the fastest
All right.
way for us all to get.
So,
In all the horror plays, that's always the worst decision.
Well, I don't want to doubt your educated guess there, Roscoe, but we could always ask Ragnar what to do.
I'll say, you're just going to talk into the ether to your imaginary god and put more faith in him than in a reasonable, logical deduction. I shouldn't. Clearly, the light didn't belong on any helm gracing your brow, Grita.
oh, geez.
It is
Intense.
Ragnar's son. Yeesh.
All right.
Look,
But you guys head into this.
We all know you got laid in college, okay?
Yeah, fully 1.5 times over 7 years. No big deal.
College
My
is
girlfriend
expensive
lives in
this universe.
Canada.
We've established that. 7 years is a long time.
So,
Money bags wizard over here, right? Yeah.
all right. But you guys head into this catacomb.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So you kind of like start walking, and I think that the first person to get a thought that something's going wrong is Dirk.
Yeah.
And I think Dirk,
knew it was going wrong all along.
Yeah, I think Dirk is like, about this far in, if I was going to set up a trap, I suspect it would be about, oh shit, and the floor drops out from under you guys.
Nice. I'll jump.
So I think this is just, if you guys...
I'm a trap expert. Oh, but I didn't spend a moment to survey a dangerous area.
It's true.
But
I thought you were going to for a minute.
No, not me.
Not me. All right. Here's what I think we should do. I think you guys just end up falling through this thing. Like, I think this drops out, and it's not just like a straight drop down, like a huge distance or anything like that. It's instead you kind of fall only like 7 or 8 feet, but then are on like kind of slide down. So you guys are trying to slow yourselves, and as you're sliding down this like dusty cobweb filled
Wait, can we say that we do fall for a while and then we hit like a slope so that it doesn't hurt so bad, so that I can tell this one joke while we're falling?
Absolutely.
Which is I go, see, if we lived in a flat earth, we wouldn't be falling like this on account of no gravity.
So that's heresy. Like, heresy against logic.
All right.
This is a very long call to have this conversation.
Yeah, you guys are you're sliding down this thing, and eventually kind of get dumped out, making another maybe 8 to 12 foot fall down.
Every bone in your body is broken.
Every bone. Well, the funny thing that you bring up bones, you do end up in a pile of what seems to be
bones.
replacement bones. Well, they could be, but you do end up in a pile of what seem to be like shells and bones and fecal matter.
Oh,
And you kind of just land in this.
I will shake another turd into the pile of shit.
All right. So Dirk.
but it's from your bag, like you've been carrying it around.
No, I shit my pants when the trap.
All right. Excellent. He's really marking this place as his own. At the moment, the only light is what's coming off of Gritta's helmet. You can hear like the kind of like drip droplet noise. And as you guys move around and the bones clatter, you hear like echoing all the hell over the place. There's lots of, there's fewer spider webs down here though. There's spider webs up near like the top. Maybe the ceilings in here are like only they're pretty short. Is Jeff particularly tall, Alex? Or are any of you particularly tall?
Not me. Kind of tall, I guess, actually. Sure, why not?
Yeah, Jeff's tall too.
Okay.
He's taller.
The ceiling only gives Jeff maybe like 3-4 inches of space over his head.
Perfect.
And in fact, if he's wearing like a helmet or something like that, he might have to take it off.
Ooh.
To stand up straight in here.
All right. I take off my leather helm.
Nice. All right. So you guys are in here. It's dank. It smells bad. I mean, there are poops on the floor where you're now covered in some of that. There's a lot of bones.
I'm gonna spend a moment to survey a dangerous area.
All right. Sounds like you're discerning some realities.
Yeah,
or are you looking for traps?
I'm a trap expert, and when you spend a moment to survey a dangerous area, you roll plus dex.
Okay.
But I'd happily discern a reality as well. Whatever you like.
Okay, let's have you discern some realities. That might give us some general information, and then we can figure it out from there.
So I roll two dice.
You roll 2d6, so this is like a wisdom roll. On your character sheet, you should be able to just roll hit the move.
Yeah, I rolled a 10, but -1 is 9.
All right.
But that was a surprisingly good wisdom roll.
Okay. So you get to ask one of those questions, I believe. One of the discern realities questions. What happened here recently? What is about to happen? What should I be on the lookout for? What here is useful or valuable to me? Who's really in control here? What here is not what it appears to be? Yeah, and you get to ask one. You got it.
What if I had a million wishes
and if you act on that information, you have +1.
What here is not what it appears to be.
What here is not what it appears to be.
That isn't
okay.
Shit. It's chocolate.
Yeah, this is during the chocolate factory.
And then I eat it all, and I get +1 on all rolls going forward.
Right. So what here is not what it appears to be.
Daughter is not a human girl.
Yeah. No, these, as you're looking around, you realize like these catacombs or like caverns, they're actually like natural. They seem to be like mostly natural caves. And if you think about the round sphere and how it's supposed to like roll around, you realize that these caverns and catacombs were not built by the same people that now are theoretically in the round sphere. And these catacombs at least predate that. So there's like magic and other stuff and possibly going on in these catacombs that is not directly the result of the globalists.
Okay.
So
I'm going to go ahead.
He's a lot older.
I'll just keep that information to myself.
Nice. Okay.
The old ace up the sleeve,
Nice. the old turd up the sleeve.
Do we see any obvious way out of this pit?
Looking around, these catacombs seem to be the same age as the old ground.
In fact, I'd say whoever created these created the old round sphere. Standard logic, 101.
Just assumes you're talking out of your ass. Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely, Dirk.
Yeah.
And
I'll knock on one of the walls. Definitely.
See here.
Yeah.
Quality
There's
wall.
There's like a kind of an opening or a tunnel that leads off from where you guys are. So you can see that there is like definitely a way to go aside from try to climb back up that thing, which seems like it may be impossible.
I say, well, Greta, you've got the light. What do you think?
What would Ragnar do?
So my bracelet says WWRD.
Yeah, I think she's actually going to ask Ragnar. Let's try this out. We got a spell that does that.
Cool.
Roll his eyes.
I'd be like, good idea. On account of it was my idea when I said, what would Ragnar do? Just now.
Pretty good. All right. You got a 4 and a 6 plus 2 plus 1. So,
can we all see this or just him?
Was it, you all can see what Roscoe noticed. Yeah, I'll say that's kind of something everybody could see.
Wait, what's Roscoe?
Roscoe is Carl's character. He asked about, like, is there a way out?
No, the symbol of your deity appears before you and gestures toward the direction or course of your action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is the symbol of his deity, and does it appear before all of us or just him?
DJ, what do you think?
I was thinking the holy symbols are just like these weird runes on her hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're like glowing, like red or something.
I'll say that's a part of the trick. Any apprentice can make a cantrip that glows. Come on, guys, let's not get too excited.
I'll be like, Jesus, I mean, Ragnar's son, that's crazy. That is fucking crazy.
All right, so
I made it on his helmet. That was me.
Guy, he's got a glowing hammer over here. This is the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
The only reason you can see that light is because the light I already made.
Okay. But yeah, these
but have you seen his light? That's crazy.
These runes on Greta's hammer glow. They glow like a deep red, and there's like a throbbing that Greta can feel in the hammer, and it points in the direction of. It points like kind of towards the opening, but then points up.
I'll be like, Greta, I'm sorry. All right, but your god was a farce. But now, having seen like a demonstration of his true power, like I realize I was wrong. And I was lying to you guys earlier when I said that the catacombs were probably like created at the same time as around the In fact, as you can clearly see, they're much older and were created by different. And I just don't want them on the conscience knowing now that like Ragnar's the one true god.
Fuck up, partner.
Yes, thank you, Jeff. We need to keep our wits about us. No religious revelations in the shit bony pit. I already said go that way after all. So does that make me a god? Who can say?
And I think it's just like, oh, don't worry, Dirk. You know, all lies are slain on the battlefield for Ragnar. Glad you revealed this to us. I'm sure it'll help us. And just glares at Roscoe and just walks over to where the meeting.
I only hope to die in glorious battle now, so I can account for all the terrible things that I do on a regular basis.
All I can say to all of you is that compared to the gift of fatherhood, these cheap tricks mean very little in our
weirdly, you're the
tricks. But I'm glad that we can all work together here. People from all faiths, and even we've got a dwarf here with us, which is really cool. I support dwarfs, and I just want everybody to know that.
And he's the tallest. So that means a lot coming from him.
That's true. All right. Well,
like I'm a pretty short guy, and so it wouldn't mean as much coming from me. But I really look up to him.
Aha.
I don't know if that's something that is, I appreciate the sentiment there.
Oh, you support dwarves, but you won't support short people?
When you say you look up to somebody, it kind of implies that they have to be taller than you. And I don't know that all among us really appreciate that phrase. Okay. I think it's a bit outdated.
All right. Well, Ragnar has...
I have friends who are dwarfs and good people. Really good people.
Well,
They work really hard.
Well, Greta, Ragnar has pointed you in the direction, and you feel that there soon shall be great battle.
I thought you need. Let's go.
All right.
As we walk up, I say, well, it's a good thing at least there's nobody else down here. There's no way we could possibly get in any sort of like violence, at least. And so we can just endure the shit and the bones should be relatively safe.
It's true. I surveyed this area for danger, and all I saw was that this place is slightly older than the other place that we're about to be in. So I say full bore, you know.
So you're going to milk that tidbit, aren't you?
Okay. You guys, like I said, it's you hear like kind of that dripping noise of like moisture like around. But it's tremendously echoey. And as you guys are kind of like walking for a little while, trying to head generally in the direction that Ragnar has pointed you, you start to hear, after what at first you think are just the noises of the echoes of like your own movements, but pretty sure you can hear that there's something else moving around in here. And as you guys kind of continue, you start to hear that there are multiple something else's in here that are moving around you. And
do I recognize that sound or anything?
Ooh, do you recognize that sound? That sounds like it could be a spout lore.
Ooh, can I do the same thing?
Say again?
Can I do the same thing at the same time?
Would you want to assist Greta?
Yeah, I'll assist.
All right, so go. DJ, go ahead and make your roll, and then we'll see if Carl needs to make his. All right, a 7. So, all right, so Carl, don't worry about that because it would only kick it up to an 8.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The GM will only tell you something interesting. It's on you to make it useful. I'm going to tell you something that I think will probably be directly useful, but I could maybe give you more information about this. You're like, I've heard a goblin before. That sounds like a goblin. There's goblins up in here.
Oh yeah, then I think Greta will just
Up in here.
Yeah, I think Greta just smiles and says like, "Oh, right, goblins. Let's get ready."
Uh-oh.
All right, the kind of chittering noise and scurrying sound starts to get louder, and eventually, as you guys head forward, you kind of turn a corner, and there's a group of just maybe like 4 or 5 of these goblins, and they're gnawing on parts of like a big bug. Like imagine like a cockroach that's maybe the size of a toaster oven. And they're kind of like gnawing at its the carapace and trying to like suck out the meat from inside its cockroach legs.
Have they noticed us yet?
Ooh, I'll say for you guys, do you want to not be noticed by them?
Yes, we don't want to be noticed by them.
All right, so that sounds like you're going to have to defy the danger of being noticed by this cadre of goblins.
That sounds good to me. I will do a roll for that.
Go for it.
I'll try and assist by being real quiet.
Okay.
I don't see it. What? Oh, I do see it. Here we go.
Yeah, it would just be a dex roll, basically, I think.
Okay. Defy danger, trigger roll, ask. Do I type in something, or I'll just roll my dex?
There you go. Cool.
All right.
So you got a 10. Pretty awesome. All right. Yeah, Dirk is able to. Dirk can move right on past these goblins. They're real busy, like going to town on this. Like 2 of them are like fighting with one another over a thorax or something like that, and they're another one is viciously gnawing on like a roach leg.
Okay, so I'm going to kiss the glowing rune on Gritta's hammer and look at him crazily and be like, Ragnar favors me. Watch this. and then, I'm going to sneak up to the group of all of them and then stab one of them in the back.
All right. So, well, you're approaching a surprised enemy, so you can just go ahead and do damage, or you can...
no, I'm going to backstab cheap shot him.
Cool. Go for it.
In the old whatever. So you attack a surprised or defenseless enemy. You can choose to deal damage or roll plus dex. So I'll roll plus dex. And
Bing!
Hold on. Gotta pull up this old character sheet. And then, boom, baby. That's how we do.
All right.
An 8. On a 7 through 9, choose 1. You deal plus 1d6. When using your precise so I'm going to deal plus 2d6.
Oh my god!
My damage is d8. So I'm gonna mess these guys up. R d8 plus 2d6. Boom. 13.
All right. Yeah, this goblin is definitely not paying attention. In fact, it's taken like the head of the cockroach and put it on its head, and is like making a silly dance, and one of the other ones is like laughing.
King of the castle.
Yeah.
Can I come over and chop its head off and then make the same dance to the goblin friend of it?
The other goblins all kind of like lean on the floor, and when they open their eyes after their hilarious laughter, it is beheaded, and now Dirk is wearing the goblin's head with the roach's head on top of it, and they're just they're really confused. And I'm gonna say in that process, Dirk just kills the rest of them. They're like, and he just stabs each of them.
Yeah, and he starts chanting. Thinks that's what Ragnar likes.
Yeah.
Great job, kid.
There you go.
There's some things they just don't teach you in school. And he'll look at Tinkle Chimes and give him a little wink.
And I'll throw up my hands and say, everybody gets lucky sometimes. It's just statistics.
All right.
I'll be like, behold, I've been baptized in blood. My lies have been expunged from me, and Ragnar's son looks upon me with favor.
All right. Well,
I'll be like, right, Greta?
And she just like her hammer up and it's like, absolutely. It was glorious.
Nice.
Yeah. You guys are standing
All right,
there.
kid, just don't get too cocky. We don't need anyone getting killed here. This is just a routine run.
All right. Well, you guys are standing there amid a beheaded goblin and 4 other eviscerated goblins, and also a giant dead roach with a lot of teeth marks in it.
I'll search them all, starting with the roach.
Ooh. All right. So, well, I'll say that the roach doesn't have anything on it, but
typical roach.
There is something that one of these goblins has.
Carl, -1 head?
-1 head. Carl, can you roll 3d6 for me?
I am. 14.
6, 4, and 4.
Be good.
All right.
That's very good.
So you notice that there's like something that's like wrapped up in a, or you notice that there's something that kind of buried, and you notice it kind of glints in the light coming off of Gritta's helm.
If it's another ogre tombstone, I'd be very disappointed.
But you do go to pick it up, and could you make a defy danger with dexterity for me?
Uh-oh. Dexterity.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Ooh.
5.
All right. Yikes. Okay.
Wait, can I help him on account of I'm a trap person, or is it too late?
It would only add 1 to it, so he would still would be a miss. So, and I don't think this is a trap per se.
No, good. Then I don't.
Yes. Oh well, then there you go. So
Ragnar clearly frowns on him.
Right. So you go to pick this thing up, and you're like, oh, it's glinting. And you kind of reach down to pick it up thinking, is it perhaps a coin? And then you realize it's actually a very fine, very fancy pen.
Should probably
I'm imagining this.
With that.
Yeah, like you see, the thing that you saw was like the nib on the like kind of like glinted in the light. And when you pick it up and you have the rest of the quill part, like the feathery part, it's like beautifully clean, despite the fact that it was just buried in the dirt. The issue is that it bursts into flames the moment you like take it out of the dirt. And
Stuff, drop, and roll, baby.
right, there's a moment where you're like, oh God, like maybe like a part of your sleeve catches on fire or something like that. You don't take any like significant damage from that, but there's like a big hullabaloo at the moment where you're like, holy crap, and you have to roll around, and like this pen is just on fire, and it stays on fire even after you drop it to the floor. But yeah, so amid these goblin corpses, there's now also just a flaming pen.
All right, I'll try and spout lore about it if I can.
No need. That's just Ragnar's traditional post-battle fireworks pen. You know, you've seen 100, and I've seen one.
So you're trying to figure out if you have ever heard of anything about a pen that's on fire?
Yeah, and I got a 9.
Okay.
Somebody could help me on that.
Would anybody want to help Grit out on this one?
Yeah.
Go for it.
You can hear me?
Yeah. Go
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm going to help
Go ahead and make 2d6 plus 1 since you have a bond with Roscoe.
2d6 plus 1. All right, add 1 to that.
Hell yeah.
Pretty good roll.
I think you got to role play out the helping, though, so it's got to be like a debate about what it is, and then they come to the conclusion that is correct.
Sure. So I'll give you the information, and then you guys can tell me how you arrive at this this information. Why? Obviously, this is you've heard tales of this very thing. This is the great scribe. The great scribe J.K. of Rowling's own flaming quill that long ago and days past she used it to write magical stories, and it has a fire that can even if it's hidden can never be put out. If you hold it like a regular pen, it doesn't burn you, but yeah, like the fire can't be put out. So even if you like dunked it into water, the second it comes out of the water, it bursts into flames again. If you buried it in dirt, it might not be like burning right away, but then the second you took it out of the dirt, it would burst into flames again.
So anytime you touch it, but you're not holding it like you would a normal pen, it bursts into flames?
Even when you're holding it, you're just not burning yourself. It's still on fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think just Roscoe, when he picked it up initially, he didn't know it would burst into flames, and so not surprisingly, it lit his sleeve on fire.
Yeah. No, look, every dad west of the Missoula, who has a daughter, knows about this storyteller, J.K. of Rowling, who just wrote these everybody wondered how she wrote such fire stories, and turned out this is how. This is unbelievable. I definitely need to hold on to this because, not on top of it, we can start all of our campfires with this with great ease. We don't have to worry about it getting wet. But not only that, but all of her greatest hits were written with this quill. And I am definitely giving this to my daughter when all is said and done.
I say, well, I've heard this J.K. Rowling, and if I recall, she only wrote children's books. And I don't see how that could possibly be of interest to men of learning. So
you see, it's not just the stories. It's after she wrote the stories, one of the big characters in it, Dumbledore, there was commentary after the whole series was done that he was in fact gay. And the fact that she wrote all this with a flaming quill in hand really, goes to show you that the whole time that she was writing the story, she was thinking about this.
Oh, so it's like a pen of prophecy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. It would be popular.
Yeah.
Dirk feels strongly about this pen. All right.
Jeff just ruined that book for you.
I will say you just ruined that book for me, which I don't even care about because I know that J.K. Rowling is an anti-religious writer. All right, and as a brand new convert to Ragnar, son. All right, I gotta tell you, we want nothing to do with this pen, or the fact that it sets things on fire, or the fact that it writes nothing but lies.
All right. So, yeah, so you're holding this pen.
Now, that pen, it might set things on fire, but have you seen his hammer? It glows slightly.
I'll point to his helmet again, like, look, I did that. It was me.
No, that's magic. That's bullshit.
Yeah. So, well, there definitely is more light now that this pen is on fire. But the shitty thing is you also hear way more of that chittering and skittering that you heard before. And you hear a lot more of it.
I say, Jeff, well, maybe your magic pen should write us a way out of here. Draw us a map.
I mean, Roscoe's holding the pen. But
I'll give it to Jeff. He asked for it. I say, okay. Listen, this is for children's stories. Jeff wants it for his daughter. Have at it.
And he's in his mouth.
I
He's on
put the
fire.
quill in my mouth, like between my teeth. It is like how bring it on.
I don't think that's how it's supposed to be used. I know the pen's mightier than the sword, but that's not what they meant.
Yeah, Jeff burns some of his eyebrows, and then he realizes
3 of his 4 eyebrows.
He burns several of his eyebrows. You realize you have to hold it as a pen in order to not burn yourself.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm going to hold it as a pen in the hand that's in my shield. So behind the shield, it'll be lit up.
It looks cool.
Yeah, so now it's like glowing, like my shield has like a car, like a lifted truck that has lights underneath.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the coolest kind.
After he burns his eyebrows off, I'll be like, forget about the lying stuff. Like, I don't think you should give that pen to your daughter.
And now it smells like eyebrow up in here. All right. So, but yeah, you hear these. This noise is coming way, way closer, and it's gotten way louder.
Jeff will definitely snap at Dirk for any sort of unsolicited parenting advice. All right, and he'll make it very clear that he cares very much about his kids, and that how dare he?
Oh no!
How dare he?
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I just didn't want you to engage in the
You know how many kids every year
the modern magical media's indoctrination of the youth. But I get it. It's your kid.
Idea. How
you
many
do
kids
you, man.
every year?
Listen. We need to get out of here.
No, we need to do more battle. We didn't do more battle.
How many kids don't even learn how to write?
All right, Roscoe's looking for a way to avoid whichever direction this chittering is coming from.
So I think that at this point, you guys have been kind of trying to take the path vaguely pointed to by Gritta's hammer, inspired by the power of Ragnar.
And this isn't a thing at all.
You've kind of wandered through these labyrinthine caverns. And so it's not just you're going down one long pipe. You've encountered several different chambers and such. I think at this point, from nearby, I think maybe a half a dozen of these goblins show up.
Wait, just try breathing less heavily, Alex.
And now it smells like eyebrow up in here.
What do you think, Jeff?
Jeff's silence shows his certainty.
He is in turn asking daughter the brains of the duo.
You're beautiful.
Dungeon World after the last battle is Lee as Dirk Savage, David as Gritta Grimhammer, Alex as Jeff the Scowl, Carl as Roscoe Tinklechimes, and Austin as your Dungeon Master. Music for this episode was by Austin and Alex, not the one that plays Jeff. Join us next time on Dungeon World after the last battle. All that and more on next week's episode of This American Dice.